Hello, everyone. I'm the Scarred Storyteller, and I'm here to help you unwind today. If you're using this video to fall asleep, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel before you drift off. By the way, where are you watching from, and what time is it for you? Now, get cozy, relax, and let's begin. Into the Shadows, a terrifying camping expedition. Chapter 1, The Call of the Shadows. Scene 1. Excited chatter filled the air as the group of friends gathered around a worn wooden table, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. Alex, his voice exuding confidence and excitement, took charge of the conversation. His rugged features lit up as he outlined their plans for the upcoming camping trip. "We'll head into that remote forest I told you about," Alex said, gesturing animatedly to a map spread out on the table. "It's far from civilization, but that's what makes it an adventure worth embarking on." Olivia leaned forward, her analytical mind already in motion. "What do we know about this place? I've heard rumors about supernatural occurrences in those woods." Ethan laughed, his hazel eyes gleaming mischievously. "Come on, Liv. It's just local legends trying to scare people away. We'll be fine." Mia's warm smile radiated empathy as she interjected gently. "It wouldn't hurt to be cautious though, right? Let's keep an open mind and respect the unknown." Lucas nodded in agreement, his calm presence providing reassurance to all. "Absolutely. Safety is our priority. We stick together, follow Alex's lead, and trust our instincts." Rachel chimed in, her fiery red curls bouncing with enthusiasm. "Well said, Lucas. And let's not forget to make amazing memories along the way." As their voices blended harmoniously in shared excitement and camaraderie, Alex couldn't help but feel a surge of pride at this diverse group he called friends. Their conversations continued long into the night, filled with tales of past adventures and dreams of unlocking the mysteries awaiting them within those dark woods. Each friend contributed their unique perspective and added depth to their bond. Amidst the laughter and anticipation, Ethan playfully nudged Mia's arm with his elbow while attempting to share a secret joke under his breath. Mia responded with a playful swat on his shoulder before leaning closer to Lucas, engrossed in an intense discussion about survival techniques. In that moment around the worn wooden table, they were a united front ready to conquer whatever challenges lay ahead. The flickering lamplight cast golden shadows upon their faces, a sight forever etched into Alex's memory like a masterpiece painted by nature itself. The night grew darker outside as they continued planning their expedition into the unknown. They were oblivious to the lurking shadows whispering secrets only they could hear, secrets that would soon unravel their courage and test the bonds forged over years of friendship. Little did they know that within those looming trees lay an ancient evil waiting patiently for its next victims who had unknowingly answered its call from deep within their souls. Scene 2 follows. Chapter 1, The Call of the Shadows. Scene 2. As the group ventured deeper into the forest, a sense of unease settled over them like an invisible cloak. Eerie sounds echoed through the trees, the rustling of leaves, distant howls carried on the wind, and whispers that seemed to slither through the shadows. They set up camp near an ancient burial ground, their glowing lanterns casting flickering light against the towering trees. Mia's eyes caught sight of strange symbols etched into tree trunks nearby, their meaning shrouded in mystery. A chilling gust of wind swept through their campsite, extinguishing their campfire momentarily. The sudden darkness enveloped them like a sinister embrace, causing a collective gasp from the group. Alex quickly reignited the fire with a determined flick of his lighter, but the unsettling silence lingered. Olivia glanced around nervously, her analytical mind racing to find rational explanations for the unexplainable. She tried to dismiss her fears as mere tricks of perception, but there was an undeniable tension in the air. Lucas cast a comforting gaze towards Olivia, his eyes reflecting steadfast resolve. He reached out and placed a steady hand on her shoulder, silently assuring her that they would face whatever lay ahead together. Rachel broke the uneasy silence with her vibrant energy, cracking a joke about ghost stories she had heard growing up. Her light-hearted attempt to diffuse the mounting fear brought a momentary smile to everyone's lips, providing temporary respite from the encroaching darkness. Just as they began to relax slightly and attempt to carry on with normalcy, another bone-chilling sound shattered their fragile peace. A blood-curdling scream tore through the night like a banshee's cry, sending shockwaves of terror coursing through their veins. Wide-eyed and hearts pounding in their chests, they turned towards the source of the piercing scream. Their gazes locked onto each other, searching for answers or reassurance amidst this nightmare unfolding before them. The ancient burial ground loomed ominously in front of them, silent and foreboding. The shadows danced in macabre patterns among the tombstones as if mocking their presence. Fear clenched its icy grip around their hearts as they realized they were not alone in this isolated realm of darkness. Scene 3 follows. Chapter 1, The Call of the Shadows. Scene 3. Tensions rose among the friends as the night wore on, their nerves frayed by unexplainable phenomena that defied logic. Objects shifted and moved on their own accord, causing uneasy glances to be exchanged in the flickering shadows. Ethan's carefree demeanor cracked under the weight of suspicion, while Olivia's analytical mind raced to find rational explanations for the increasingly bizarre occurrences. Lucas, ever the calm voice of reason, approached Ethan with a furrowed brow. "Hey, man, is there something you're not telling us? You've been acting strange since we set foot in this forest." Ethan's eyes darted around nervously before he finally met Lucas' gaze. I don't know what you're talking about," he stammered with a forced laugh. But his faltering words only fueled the growing unease within the group. Mia, always attuned to the emotional undercurrents swirling around them, stepped forward with a gentle touch on Ethan's arm. "We're here to support each other, remember. If something's bothering you, it's okay to share." Rachel chimed in, her vibrant energy momentarily dimmed by concern. "Yeah, Ethan. We're all friends here. We can handle whatever it is together." Ethan hesitated for a moment, his gaze shifting from one concerned face to another. "Okay," he conceded finally. "There was something I found earlier when I went exploring near the burial ground." Olivia's curiosity piqued as she leaned in closer. "What did you find? Did it have anything to do with those symbols etched into the trees?" Ethan nodded solemnly. "Yeah. There was this journal hidden among some rocks near one of the symbols. It talked about an ancient curse and how anyone who disturbs this place will suffer dire consequences." A shiver ran down Alex's spine as he absorbed Ethan's words. "But why didn't you tell us sooner?" Ethan's shoulders slumped as he admitted his fear of being dismissed as a superstitious fool. "I didn't want anyone to worry unnecessarily. I thought it might just be an elaborate prank or an urban legend gone too far." Silence settled over the group as they grappled with this new information and its implications. The night seemed darker now, suffocating them with its weight of uncertainty. "We need to stick together," Alex declared firmly, breaking the heavy silence. "No matter what happens, our bond is what will get us through this." Nods and murmurs of agreement rippled through their circle as they drew strength from each other once more. And so, surrounded by looming shadows and an ancient evil waiting patiently in their midst, they forged ahead, united against a darkness that threatened to consume them all. Scene 4 follows. Chapter 2, Haunted Echoes. Scene 1. The crackling campfire cast dancing shadows over the anxious faces of the 6 friends huddled together. The remnants of their fear lingered in the air like wisps of smoke as they shared their horrifying encounters from the previous night. Olivia's analytical mind whirred into action, her sharp gaze fixed on each speaker. Her voice, measured and logical, dissected their experiences with a clinical precision that contrasted the palpable tension surrounding them. "So, we've established that these supernatural occurrences aren't just figments of our imagination," Olivia began, her brow furrowed in deep thought. "But there has to be a rational explanation for them, something rooted in science or psychology." Alex nodded, his eyes reflecting a mixture of concern and determination. He knew he had to balance Olivia's skepticism with their undeniable experiences. I agree, Liv. But until we find concrete evidence or answers, we can't ignore what we felt and heard last night. Mia's gentle voice interjected, her warm eyes filled with empathy. We need to approach this with an open mind. It's possible that there are forces at play beyond our comprehension. Ethan chimed in, his tone optimistic yet tinged with unease. Maybe it's all part of some elaborate prank or an undiscovered natural phenomenon. We won't know unless we keep investigating. Lucas, always the calm voice amidst chaos, offered a sage piece of advice. Let's not let fear cloud our judgment or overshadow our friendship. We're in this together, and we'll tackle each challenge as a united front. Rachel brightened the somber atmosphere with her infectious laughter before turning serious in an instant. Exactly. We have to remember that we're strong and resourceful. Nothing can break us if we stick together. As their voices ebbed and flowed around the dying embers of the fire, one by one, they shared reassurances and words of understanding, bonds strengthening even amidst uncertainty. With a final nod of agreement exchanged between the group, Alex spoke up once more, his voice firm and resolute. Tomorrow morning, we'll split into smaller groups and explore specific areas related to these supernatural occurrences. Our mission is simple: uncover the truth behind this haunting. In that moment, enveloped by flickering light and earnest determination, they embarked on a pact to conquer their fears and seek answers within the heart of darkness itself. Scene 2 follows. Chapter 2, Haunted Echoes. Scene 2. As dawn broke, casting an ethereal glow over the forest, Mia ventured alone into the heart of nature's mysteries. Her steps were cautious, yet curiosity propelled her forward towards the symbols etched into ancient tree trunks. The tangled roots seemed to pulsate with unseen energy, whispering secrets that only Mia's intuition could decipher. With each passing moment, the dense foliage rustled in harmony with her racing heartbeat. Shadows flitted around her like playful specters, teasing her senses and evoking a heightened state of awareness. Mia's fingers danced across the bark, tracing the intricate patterns etched by time itself. The touch of her fingertips sent a shiver down her spine as visions of past rituals and long-forgotten ceremonies flooded her mind. She closed her eyes for a moment, allowing herself to become one with the forest's ancient magic. A sudden breeze whispered through the leaves above, carrying hints of voices from another realm. Mia strained to catch their words, but they slipped away like fleeting echoes on the wind. It was as if the very trees themselves held unfathomable wisdom locked within their gnarled embrace. In this delicate dance between human and nature, Mia felt a profound connection, a thread linking past and present, mortal and ethereal. She knew that unraveling this enigma would require not just intellectual prowess but also a willingness to embrace the unknown. Lost in contemplation, she almost didn't notice Olivia stepping out from behind a towering oak tree nearby. Olivia's analytical gaze met Mia's in silent acknowledgement of their shared pursuit for truth. "I've been studying these symbols," Olivia said softly, her voice reflecting both excitement and caution. "They seem to depict some sort of ancient language or code." Mia nodded, her eyes gleaming with excitement mirroring Olivia's own. Together, they delved deeper into deciphering the hidden meanings behind each symbol, connecting threads of knowledge from varied sources and piecing together a puzzle that had stymied countless generations before them. Their fingertips brushed against each other briefly, a subtle touch conveying solidarity amidst uncertainty, before they returned their focus to their task at hand. With every word shared and every theory discussed, their bond strengthened further. As time passed unnoticed within their sacred enclave among the trees, emotions faded into background noise while meticulous analysis took center stage. Logic guided their thoughts as they attempted to unlock secrets hidden beneath centuries of myths and legends. But even as their minds grew weary from intense concentration, a distant drumming sound echoed through the forest, hauntingly melodic yet foreboding. It pierced through layers of rationality like an arrow aimed directly at their core beings. Mia glanced at Olivia, concern etching lines upon her forehead. Do you hear that? What could it possibly mean? Olivia tensed momentarily before answering with measured certainty, we won't know until we follow its rhythm deep into the heart of this mystery. In unison, they set forth towards the source of the drumming sound, unaware that each step brought them closer not only to answers but also to dangers lurking within this haunted realm. Scene 3 follows. Chapter 2, Haunted Echoes. Scene 3. Tensions reached a boiling point as the group, their nerves frayed and emotions running high, gathered around a dying campfire. Suspicion hung heavy in the air, casting shadows over once unbreakable bonds of friendship. Ethan's voice quivered with a mixture of fear and accusation as he confronted Rachel, his voice barely above a whisper. I saw you near the burial ground last night. What were you doing there? Rachel's vibrant energy faltered for a moment, her hazel eyes widening in shock. I wasn't near the burial ground, she stammered, confusion etched into every word. Mia, ever the mediator, stepped forward with steady resolve. Let's not jump to conclusions, she interjected gently, her voice filled with empathy. But suspicion had taken root within them like an insidious poison. Olivia joined Ethan's side, her analytical mind now clouded by doubt. I found this torn piece of fabric near where Rachel was standing, she presented it to the group as evidence. Rachel's cheeks flushed with indignation as she snatched the fabric from Olivia's grasp. That could have come from anywhere. It doesn't prove anything. Alex stepped between them, his voice commanding attention amidst the chaos. Enough. He boomed, his gaze piercing through each member of the group. We can't turn against each other. We need to find answers together. His words resounded with a glimmer of hope amidst their fractured trust. The tension eased slightly as Lucas placed a reassuring hand on Rachel's shoulder while Mia offered Olivia a supportive nod. As if sensing their unity slipping away, nature unleashed its fury upon them, gusts of wind howling through the trees and extinguishing their campfire once more. Darkness closed in around them like suffocating tendrils. Ethan took a step back, his fear palpable as he clung onto his last ounce of rationality. We're being tested, he whispered hoarsely. In that moment of vulnerability and desperation, something unseen slithered through their midst, a malevolent force hungry for discord and chaos. The forest itself seemed to respond to their turmoil, its ancient trees groaning under an unseen weight while leaves rustled ominously, whispered secrets woven into nature's symphony. A chilling silence fell over the group as they realized how close they stood on the precipice of self-destruction. Eyes met across flickering shadows, each filled with equal parts fear and determination. With united hearts beating in sync, they refused to succumb to darkness' seductive embrace. They marshaled their remaining strength and faced this terrifying ordeal head-on, not as individuals but as an unbreakable unit forged through years of shared trials and triumphs. Scene ends. Chapter 3, Fractured Bonds. Scene 1. The crackling embers of the dying campfire cast flickering shadows upon the group, their faces etched with tension and suspicion. The air hung heavy with unspoken accusations as they discussed recent events that had shattered the once unbreakable bonds of trust. Alex's gaze bore into Olivia, his voice laced with a mix of concern and frustration. You've been acting secretive, Liv. What aren't you telling us? Are you hiding something from the rest of us? Olivia shifted uncomfortably under his piercing stare, her analytical mind searching for words to defend herself. I understand your concerns, Alex, she replied evenly, struggling to maintain her composure. But I assure you, I have no ulterior motives. I'm only trying to comprehend the inexplicable occurrences we've witnessed. Rachel interjected, her voice a soothing balm amidst rising tension. Let's not jump to conclusions, she urged gently, her vibrant energy dimmed by the gravity of the situation. We're all feeling on edge, but tearing each other apart won't solve anything. Ethan chimed in hesitantly, his eyes darting between his friends. I think it's important that we share any suspicions or fears openly, he offered tentatively. Only through transparency can we reclaim our unity. Mia nodded silently, her gaze filled with empathy towards their fractured bonds. With a gentle touch, she reached out and placed her hand on Rachel's shoulder, a small gesture of support amidst uncertainty. As their conversation ebbed and flowed like a river tainted with doubt, Lucas observed in silence, his wise eyes capturing every nuance of emotion within the group. His calm presence served as a beacon of stability amidst turbulent waters. "We need to remember why we came here in the first place," Lucas finally spoke up in his steady voice, directing their attention towards their common goal. "We sought adventure and escape from our mundane lives. Let's not allow fear to consume what brought us together." His words resonated within each member of the group, a reminder that beneath the surface turmoil lay bonds forged through shared memories and triumphs. Although tensions still simmered beneath the fragile veneer of unity, they chose to press forward, compelled by an irrefutable desire for answers and resolve. In this moment of uncertainty and strained friendship, they embarked on yet another challenge, determined to overcome both external threats and internal discord in their relentless pursuit of truth. Scene ends. Chapter 3, Fractured Bonds. Scene 2. The dense fog clung to the air like a suffocating veil, distorting the world around them as they ventured deeper into the heart of darkness. Lucas led the way, his steps measured and cautious, his senses acutely attuned to any hint of danger lurking in their path. Mia followed closely behind him, her heart pounding in her chest with each rhythmic footfall. The mist swirled around her like ethereal fingers, tickling her skin and heightening her awareness of unseen forces at play. As they navigated through the labyrinthine forest, Olivia's analytical mind absorbed every minute detail, the gnarled branches overhead, the damp earth beneath their feet, and the distant echoes of wildlife searching for solace in this spectral realm. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Ethan's usually confident expression faltered as he glanced back at Rachel. His hand brushed against hers briefly, seeking reassurance amidst the encroaching darkness. Rachel returned his touch with a fervent squeeze, a silent understanding that even amidst uncertainty, their bond remained unbroken. Their journey eventually brought them to an ancient stone altar standing sentinel among towering trees. The moss-covered stones seemed to breathe with a life all their own, whispering secrets from ages long forgotten. Lucas circled the altar cautiously, tracing his fingers along its weathered surface. Every touch sent shivers down his spine as he connected with a power that transcended time itself, a power begging to be awakened. Wordlessly, Mia moved closer, her eyes drawn to an inscription etched into one of the stones. She traced her fingertips along the delicate grooves, feeling an electric pulse beneath her touch, as if unlocking hidden knowledge etched into the very fabric of existence. Their collective breath held in anticipation as Olivia approached with measured steps. Her analytical gaze scanned every intricate detail surrounding the altar, seeking patterns or clues that might illuminate their journey towards truth. Suddenly, a rustle in the underbrush shattered the fragile silence. Time seemed suspended as they exchanged glances filled with both trepidation and curiosity. A silhouette emerged from within the mist, a figure cloaked in shadowy uncertainty. Panic surged through their veins as they prepared for an imminent threat from this unknown interloper. But before fear could paralyze them completely, a voice pierced through the oppressive atmosphere, Alex's voice resonating with authority and determination. "We are united," he declared firmly to both friend and foe alike. "Whatever force seeks to divide us will only make us stronger." In that moment of resolute unity and unwavering courage, their bond reignited like an inferno blazing against encroaching darkness. They stood together on this precipice of uncertainty, ready to face whatever horrors awaited them beyond this haunted realm. As they braced themselves for what lay ahead, tendrils of mist curled around their ankles like sinister serpents, beckoning them further into the abyss where answers would be unearthed and bonds reforged in fire and steel. Scene ends. Chapter 3, Fractured Bonds. Scene 3. Tension hung in the air like a taut wire as accusations flew among the once tight-knit circle of friends. The crackling embers of the dying campfire provided little solace against the rising storm of distrust that threatened to tear them apart. Alex's voice quivered with a mixture of anger and desperation, his gaze locked on Olivia. "You've been keeping things from us, Liv. How can we trust you when you won't open up?" Olivia's normally composed demeanor crumbled under the weight of their suspicion. Her hands trembled slightly as she fought to find her words, her analytical mind frantically searching for an explanation that would satisfy their doubts. Rachel stepped forward, her voice tinged with weariness yet filled with empathy. "We're all scared and confused," she urged gently, trying to restore the sense of unity they once shared. "But jumping to conclusions won't lead us anywhere." Ethan shifted uncomfortably, torn between his loyalty towards his friends and the overwhelming sense of fear that plagued them all. He reached out tentatively, his hand finding Rachel's in a silent plea for solace amidst the chaos. Mia observed their interactions with a sense of unease flickering behind her warm brown eyes. She could feel their bond fracturing under the strain of uncertainty, yet she refused to let it shatter completely. Just as the tension seemed unbearable and hope began to wane, Lucas emerged from the shadows, a steady presence amidst turbulent waters. His calm voice resonated through the group like a lifeline amidst a tempestuous storm. "Listen," Lucas commanded softly but firmly. "We cannot allow fear and mistrust to consume us. We need each other now more than ever." His words hung in the air, momentarily breaking through the cloud of uncertainty that had settled over them. The group exchanged wary glances, slowly realizing that their strength lay not in pushing each other away but in standing together against whatever horrors awaited them. In unison, they took a collective breath, ready to face both external threats and internal discord head-on. Each step forward was tentative yet resolute, an act of defiance against the forces seeking to divide them. As they braced themselves against an unknown enemy lurking in the darkness, Ethan's hand found Rachel's once again, and Mia offered Olivia a reassuring smile. These small gestures spoke volumes, silent indicators that their bond remained intact despite its fragile state. With renewed determination, they pushed forward into the nightmarish depths of the forest. Their journey may have begun with fractured bonds, but within each heartbeat lies hope for redemption, hope that unity will prevail over darkness. Scene ends. Chapter 4, Confronting the Darkness. Scene 1. Inside the dimly lit cabin, the group huddled close together, their expressions a mix of determination and uncertainty. The steady flicker of candlelight danced upon their faces, illuminating the weight of their decisions. Alex's voice broke the silence, his words dripping with a blend of conviction and trepidation. "We need to confront this ancient evil head-on," he declared, his eyes meeting each friend in turn. "Only then can we uncover its true nature and put an end to the nightmares that haunt us." Olivia's analytical mind bristled with hesitation as she raised her concerns. "But Alex, how can we be certain this ritual is safe? What if it only worsens the situation?" Alex met her gaze unwaveringly, his voice filled with quiet resolve. "I understand your fears, Liv," he acknowledged. "But we're running out of options. We cannot let our doubts paralyze us. Together, we'll face whatever comes our way." Rachel leaned forward, her vibrant energy tempered by a growing sense of apprehension. "Can we trust this ritual?" she asked, genuine curiosity lacing her words. A small smile crept onto Alex's face as he nodded. "I've researched extensively," he explained. "This ritual holds the key to unlocking our path forward. It will reveal truths hidden within us and grant us newfound strength to combat the darkness." Ethan chimed in from beside Rachel, his voice edged with both excitement and caution. "If there's even a chance this works," he began, his eyes glinting with determination, "then count me in. Let's face our fears head-on." Mia reached across the circle, gently squeezing Olivia's hand in a gesture of comfort and support before speaking softly yet resolutely. "Sometimes," Mia said, "intensely allowing faith to guide us can lead to unexpected breakthroughs." She looked meaningfully into Olivia's eyes. "Perhaps it lies within the unknown that true discoveries are made." Lucas observed their interactions silently from his spot near the entrance of the cabin, a pillar of calm amidst internal tumultuousness evident within each friend. With renewed determination lining their expressions and resolve gripping their hearts, they knew that unity would be their greatest weapon against what lay ahead. As they finalized their plan for the forthcoming ritual, each detail meticulously discussed and accounted for, a spark ignited within them all, an unshakable belief that they could overcome any obstacle as long as they stood shoulder to shoulder. Scene ends. Note: this scene focuses primarily on dialogue-driven conversation while navigating questions and concerns surrounding Alex's proposed plan for confronting the ancient evil lurking in the forest. The characters' emotions are restrained but present, allowing for measured realism throughout. Chapter 4: Confronting the Darkness. Scene 2. The forest enveloped them like a shroud of whispered secrets, suffusing the air with an otherworldly energy. The flickering candlelight barely penetrated the thick mist that clung to the underbrush, distorting their surroundings in an ethereal dance of shadows and uncertainty. Each step forward bred a heightened sense of awareness. Rustling leaves became ghostly whispers, distant cries morphed into eerie echoes. Every fiber of their being bristled with anticipation as they traversed deeper into this realm of nightmares. Alex led the way, his rugged features etched with determination. His senses were trained on any hint of danger lurking amidst the gnarled trees, yet his expression betrayed a lingering doubt, a constant battle between bravery and self-doubt. Olivia walked beside him, her analytical mind working overtime to decipher the invisible threads connecting this haunted land to their very souls. Her glasses glinted in the muted moonlight, emphasizing her unwavering focus and deep contemplation. Rachel clung tightly onto Ethan's hand, seeking solace amidst encroaching darkness. Her vibrant energy seemed dimmed against the eerie backdrop, her usually animated expression subdued. A trace of vulnerability lingered in her eyes as she confronted the unknown alongside those she held dear. Mia trailed slightly behind, her petite frame moving gracefully despite the treacherous terrain beneath her feet. Her senses honed in on every subtle shift in atmosphere, quickening breaths, racing heartbeats, attuned to the unnerving pulse of this spectral realm. Their progress was slow and deliberate, a silent understanding that what awaited them demanded utmost caution. The forest seemed to respond to their presence, its twisted branches reaching out like ethereal fingers, beckoning them further into its depths. Suddenly, a grotesque apparition materialized before them, a chilling reminder that they were trespassing on unhallowed ground. Its form shifted and contorted with an unnatural grace, manifesting fears and nightmares made flesh. In unison, each member of the group drew upon their inner strength, Alex gripping his weapon tighter, Olivia observing intently for patterns or weaknesses, Rachel steadying herself against Ethan's unwavering support, and Mia finding solace in her inner resilience. With determined resolve fueling their every move, they engaged in a fierce battle against malevolent entities drawn from both external forces and internal vulnerabilities. Each strike was met with resistance, each display of courage answered by unearthly ferocity. Amidst fleeting moments of terror and exhilaration, time seemed suspended, seconds stretched into eternity while adrenaline coursed through their veins. In this harrowing dance between life and death, alliances shifted seamlessly as they stood shoulder to shoulder against overwhelming odds. And just when it seemed all hope was lost, when darkness threatened to consume them whole, an unexpected surge of power pulsed within them. It radiated from deep within their souls like an indomitable flame refusing to be extinguished. In an extraordinary display of unity and sheer willpower, they pushed back against their supernatural adversaries with renewed vigor. Their collective strength surged forth like a tidal wave crashing upon unseen shores, all doubts silenced by undeniable bonds forged within the crucible of fear. Scene ends. Note: this scene focuses on atmospheric suspense and intense action sequences as the characters confront otherworldly beings within the haunting forest. The level of emotion is measured yet visceral, capturing both fear and determination through character interactions. Chapter 4: Confronting the Darkness. Scene 3. The air crackled with an electric intensity as the group of friends faced off against the malevolent entities that haunted their every step. The forest seemed alive with a grotesque semblance of life, its twisted branches reaching out like skeletal fingers to ensnare unsuspecting victims. Alex swung his weapon with practiced precision, each strike met by an otherworldly force pushing back against his resolve. Olivia observed keenly, her analytical mind searching for patterns or weaknesses that could give them an advantage. Rachel and Ethan moved in unison, their bond strengthening their defenses and bolstering their determination. Mia stood at the periphery, her petite frame radiating both vulnerability and steely resolve. She unleashed a guttural cry from deep within her soul, a manifestation of her inner strength melded with a newfound courage. The battle waged on as time blurred, moments blending into eternity, breaths becoming one with the rhythm of struggle. Sweat beaded on their brows, muscles strained against relentless resistance, and yet they fought on, unwavering in their conviction to overcome the darkness that threatened to consume them whole. In a burst of supernatural energy, Lucas channeled his survival instinct honed through past outdoor adventures. His calm demeanor concealed a tenacious spirit burning bright within him. With each calculated move, he aimed to protect his friends from harm while striking back at the forces determined to tear them apart. As Mia locked eyes with Olivia amidst the chaos, a silent exchange passed between them, a shared understanding that together they could find solace and strength even in the midst of turmoil. It was a fleeting moment of connection that added depth to their friendship amidst this nightmarish ordeal. Through gritted teeth and pounding hearts, they pushed forward against overwhelming odds, driven by an indomitable will forged within days of danger and nights gripped by uncertainty. Suddenly, a blinding light erupted from deep within Alex's being, illuminating the surrounding darkness with an ethereal brilliance. A metaphorical beacon of hope spread through the group like wildfire, a realization that they held within themselves the power to confront their deepest fears head-on. With renewed vigor and renewed bond among them, they surged forward, each strike fueled by unity and resilience. Their movements became fluid as they danced around supernatural adversaries determined to extinguish the flickering flame of their collective spirit. In this dance between life and death, alliances shifted seamlessly but never faltered. The essence of trust flowed through every fiber of their beings as they battled not only external threats but also internal demons clawing at their sanity. As the battle reached its crescendo, exhaustion weighed heavy upon their bodies, fatigue gnawed at their resolve. But still they fought on, driven by an unyielding determination never to succumb to the darkness that sought to devour them whole. Scene ends. Chapter 5, Unveiling the Curse. Scene 1. The air hung heavy with an ominous stillness as the group of friends stood before the decaying altar at the heart of the ancient burial ground. The once majestic stones were now weathered and worn, bearing witness to centuries of forgotten souls. Alex, his hands trembling slightly, reached into his backpack and retrieved the relic he had discovered during their treacherous journey through the haunted forest. The talisman gleamed in the dim light, its intricate engravings telling tales of long-forgotten rituals and desperate hopes for salvation. As he held it aloft, Olivia's analytical mind whirred in anticipation. She couldn't help but marvel at the intricate craftsmanship, recognizing symbols from her extensive research on ancient spiritual practices. It was a delicate balance of beauty and darkness encapsulated within a single artifact. Mia glanced at Alex with a mixture of admiration and concern, her gentle touch offering reassurance. She understood the weight that rested upon his shoulders, the responsibility of banishing the malevolent force that had plagued them all. Her eyes met his in silent solidarity, willing him to find strength amidst lingering doubts. Lucas studied the surroundings, his calm demeanor masking a keen observation of their surroundings. He traced the fading inscriptions etched into the crumbling altar, drawing upon his knowledge gained from previous outdoor adventures. This would be their final test, a culmination of their resilience and unwavering resolve. Ethan fidgeted nervously, his gaze darting between his friends and the foreboding presence emanating from the cursed site. Sweat glistened on his brow as he grappled with a mix of anxious anticipation and undying determination. He yearned to prove himself capable both to his friends and to himself. Rachel leaned against Ethan for support, her fiery curls mingling with his tousled hair. Her vibrant energy crackled with a newfound intensity, one born out of confronting fears head-on. She locked eyes with Olivia and shared a knowing smile, an unspoken recognition of how far they had come together. "Are we ready?" Alex's voice broke through the silence, filled with a blend of conviction and vulnerability. The question hung in the air, each member of the group pausing to reflect on their own inner struggles and personal growth. With resolute nods exchanged among them, they formed a tight circle around Alex and raised their arms skyward, each person holding onto an unwavering hope that this would be their salvation. Together, they invoked words whispered by generations past, words laden with power and desperation as they sought to activate the ancient talisman's true potential. Energy crackled in the air as unseen forces converged around them, a chorus of spirits both benevolent and malevolent who craved release from their eternal torment. As they chanted in unison, fear began to dissipate beneath layers of camaraderie forged through countless nights spent battling nightmares together. Doubts melted away like snowflakes against hot skin, replaced by unyielding determination to vanquish evil once and for all. The atmosphere shifted, an ethereal luminescence enveloped their intertwined hands, and time seemed suspended in this moment between worlds. Metaphorical sentence, as their voices intertwined like strands of fate weaving through cosmic tapestry, they became conduits for ancient powers, a beacon of light piercing through impenetrable darkness. Chapter 5, Unveiling the Curse. Scene 2. The group of friends stood in a tight circle around the decaying altar, their hands linked with unwavering determination. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy as they prepared to unleash the full potential of the ancient talisman. With each chant, their voices intertwined like strands of fate weaving through a cosmic tapestry. Their words resonated with power and desperation, invoking long-forgotten spirits that lingered within this cursed realm. As they focused their collective will on the ritual, vengeful phantoms materialized from the shadows, drawn to the surge of energy radiating from the talisman. They circled the group, their ethereal forms swirling like a menacing storm. Olivia's analytical mind processed the chaotic scene before her, seeking patterns or opportunities within the ever-shifting battle. She gracefully dodged spectral claws and unleashed bursts of energy to repel their attackers, her movements precise and calculated. Mia's empathetic nature allowed her to tap into a wellspring of inner strength, shielding herself and her friends from the onslaught of spiritual entities. Her touch healed wounds both physical and emotional as she channeled her compassion into a protective barrier. Lucas moved with practiced precision, his survival instincts guiding his every action. He identified weak points in their adversaries' defenses and struck with swift efficiency, a stoic guardian amidst the chaos. Ethan's carefree spirit transformed into focused determination as he confronted his own fears head-on. He summoned bursts of adrenaline-fueled energy to propel himself through the spectral horde, striking them down with newfound agility. Rachel, her vibrant personality now tinged with fierce resolve, unleashed torrents of laughter as a weapon against the malevolent spirits. Her infectious joy disoriented their foes while providing moments of respite for her weary friends. Alex, the natural-born leader, held his ground in the center of the circle, his gaze locked onto the talisman glowing brilliantly in his grasp. He drew upon every ounce of strength within him, channeling raw determination to vanquish evil once and for all. In an explosion of supernatural force, blinding light erupted from the talisman, a beacon cutting through impenetrable darkness. It engulfed both friend and foe alike, illuminating their collective struggle as they pushed back against overwhelming odds. Time seemed suspended in that moment, an eternity encapsulated within fleeting seconds. And then, as quickly as it had begun, it was over, the malevolent spirits banished by sheer will and unyielding unity. Breathless but victorious, they stared at each other through smoky remnants, a silent acknowledgement of triumph achieved together. Their individual strengths had melded seamlessly into a force greater than any single one of them could have imagined. Without words spoken aloud or grand declarations made, they understood that this battle had forever changed them, a bond woven through shared trauma and resilience. The ghosts may have been banished from this cursed land, but echoes of this fateful night would forever reverberate within their souls. Scene ends. Chapter 5, Unveiling the Curse. Scene 3. The blinding light gradually faded, leaving behind a hushed stillness as the group of friends stood amidst the aftermath of their collective victory. Ash and embers drifted gently to the forest floor, blanketing the cursed burial ground in a hauntingly beautiful layer of remnants. Exhausted but elated, they gathered together, breathing in shallow gasps while their hearts pounded with adrenaline-fueled intensity. Each face bore traces of weariness yet glowed with the radiance of triumph. As they surveyed their surroundings, remnants of that once malevolent force, they found solace in each other's presence. Their gazes met, a silent exchange conveying gratitude for resilience and strength found within these unbreakable bonds forged through shared trauma. Alex, his rugged features etched with both relief and awe, stepped forward to address his dear friends. His voice echoed with a newfound clarity, one born from surviving imminent danger and emerging forever changed. "We've defeated what haunted us, all that sought to tear us apart," he began, his words resonating with sincerity. "This journey into darkness united us in ways unimaginable. We witnessed firsthand the power we possess when we stand together." Olivia nodded, her analytical mind still processing the magnitude of their achievement. "There was something truly extraordinary about our collective will," she murmured, her voice laced with a sense of wonder. "Through unity, we transcended our limits and overcame insurmountable odds." Mia wrapped an arm around Olivia's shoulder, offering a gesture of comfort and validation. "It was never just about this ancient curse, it was about facing our own inner demons," she said softly, her gaze lingering on each friend in turn. "We've emerged stronger because we embraced vulnerability and found courage deep within ourselves." Lucas observed their interaction silently, the stoic guardian who had stood by their side through it all. A nod from him served as an unspoken agreement, a recognition of how far they had come since embarking on this terrifying camping expedition. Ethan grinned cheekily at Rachel before addressing the group with infectious enthusiasm. "Remember when this trip was just supposed to be about adventure?" He chuckled, his eyes dancing with mirth. "Little did we know it would lead us to discover our own inner strength and forge friendships that could withstand anything." Rachel playfully nudged Ethan's side before adding her own heartfelt sentiment. "We may have banished that darkness from our lives," she said warmly, her vibrant energy lighting up the space around them. "But the memories of this journey will forever remind us of what we're capable of when we face our fears head-on." In that moment, their disparate journeys converged, a tapestry woven through nights fraught with terror and days glimmering with hard-earned victories. With ashes settling upon their shoulders like badges of honor, they carried forth a renewed wisdom and understanding that true courage lies not in avoiding pain but in embracing it as a catalyst for growth. As they parted ways, each embarking on their individual paths, they knew that these haunting woods would forever hold a place in their hearts, reminding them of resilience found among shadows and strength birthed from unity.